She was cussing out.
All right, thanks so much, DJ 1+2, for that free lunch mix. And it's time for What's Trending. What's Trending is brought to you by McDonald's. I'm loving it. Go to WZAKCleveland.com for more on What's Trending with Kenya. Now, I got my brother Benny, 216 Muscle. He's sitting in with me. He's going to talk to me because Sam is out today, and he's still going to bring you your wellness tips in just a little bit. So we're going to talk a little bit.
You just need a male perspective on what's...
Yeah,
I got you.
Okay.
I got your back, Kenya.
Now, how does a billionaire end up having to borrow money for his wedding? Well, Mr. Beast, he's a billionaire YouTuber. Actually, his companies last year made about $500,000, and they're forecasting the revenue to reach $899 million in 2025. So, why would he need to borrow money? Because he's broke.
I don't think you need to borrow it. That's just how the rich stay rich. Right. I saw somebody did that where they, instead of asking for gifts, they just did when you reserved for the wedding, you just had to buy your ticket for the wedding. I don't want a gift. You gonna get your plate, you gonna get your wedding, just buy this $75 ticket to come. I don't need no toaster. We already got a toaster.
If you're a billionaire, you don't need my ticket.
That's why I say that's how the rich stay rich with
you don't need no ticket.
You've been talking about the Browns all morning. Them billionaires getting $600 million out of us to build a stadium.
Definitely. Now, he said he spends a lot on just content every year, just putting all that money back into his companies. And he has a series for Amazon Prime Video, all that stuff. So he is making money. So I guess his wife said, listen, I don't care. He got engaged last year. So congratulations to him. Now, a judge has blocked Florida's teen social media ban, calling it a First Amendment violation. Now, a federal judge, they temporarily blocked a key part of Florida's 2024 law that would have restricted minors under 16 from accessing social media platforms. Now, it's gotten some legal pushback. Now, the organizations that represent platforms like Meta, YouTube, Google, and Snapchat, well, they are fighting back against the whole situation. They're saying that it goes against the First Amendment rights of the kids. So it seems like they care about this First Amendment stuff when it comes to things like this, but when you talk about DEI or colleges like Harvard or something like that, defending their rights to run their schools the way they want to, then all of a sudden there's no protections. But, of course, let the kids get on social media.
The kids got first. When we was kids, it was be seen and not heard. Now they allowed to talk.
Listen.
This a new day, but why are we governing parenting?
Listen, that's money. That's all money. Meta, all those people, they don't want the gravy train, because those are the kids that are probably on those platforms. A little bit heavier than older folks. They still the ones watching the stuff, creating the stuff.
Yeah,
so,
they got to teach us the dances.
Yeah, they said the law overstepped constitutional boundaries by restricting access to lawful online content. So, I don't know about that, but
I just take their phones from them when they're in school.
Let
them focus
if
on
you're
school.
A parent, then go ahead and politic that. You go ahead and police that yourself and not give your child a phone if it bothers you. Now, Pastor Jamal Bryan, he's calling on Cardi B to join the Target boycott after she shared a photo of herself shopping in the store. He was saying, listen, I'm coming to you with love and not judgment. He said, peace to you. He said, he encouraged people to support her to support the boycott against Target for rolling back its DEI efforts under political pressure. And he said, you probably weren't aware of the whole situation, but he said this is the most effective boycott since the Montgomery bus boycott. And so, some people applauded his approach, and some people said he should have just went on ahead and called her.
Well, Cardi, he could have called her. Cardi usually seems to be locked in politically. It's hard for me to believe she didn't know
about the boycott.
Yeah, that's hard for me to believe that she didn't. I mean, I don't know, but she usually seems to be locked in politically.
Now, according to some reports, they're saying that Target lost over $1 billion.
They lowered the pay of their CEO.
Yeah.
So it's doing. We have power in our dollars if we use them. We just
Gotta
gotta come together and
so
use them.
you with it. You with Pastor.
Well, I don't shop at Target anyway, so
Okay.
it didn't
All
affect me.
right.
I'm
So
not. I don't have that. I don't have Target money.
You know what?
But they messing with me now because they trying to boycott Dollar General, and that's where I'm at. Now I got to figure out somewhere else to go.
Okay.
But you know what? We got the black-owned one here. The dollar store will go there.
Okay. Now, Tina knows she's spilling the beans about how Beyonce got her name. Now, she's paying homage to her father, who was Loomis Albert Beyonce. Now, she said that his name used to get misspelled all the time, so she chose the name Beyonce as a way to pay homage to the last name that was passed down in those several variations. So his last name was Beyonce, I guess, and she chose Beyonce for her.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. I always like to know those stories about where people's names come from. It's a little interesting to me. Now, 50 Cent, he's urging a judge to block the release of Skill House, which is the film he claimed used his name and image without permission or pay. Now, this film is set to debut July 11th, and now 50 Cent, through his company NYC Vibe, they're suing the producers, Ryan Kavanaugh, Skill House Movie LLC, and Gen TV LLC, for using his name and likeness without a signed agreement. Now, he said he entered into the agreement for a potential deal. He even filmed some scenes with his son, Sire, but he said there was nothing in stone. He didn't sign anything, and most importantly, he didn't get paid for anything. So he's saying, listen, I need y'all to block this because the check wasn't signed, the contract wasn't signed.
They better 50 gonna sue somebody. He coming for his money. They better leave it. But 50 seem okay. We talking about being smart. What you doing on set, bro? If you ain't got no contract or no check.
I know. Well, he said this was all in good faith because of him potentially being a part of this project. He's saying, listen, money on the wood, make the bed go.
That's right.
And that didn't happen. Now, Keisha Cole, she fell victim to one of the oldest things that you're not supposed to do is say that somebody is pregnant. Now, she was on the Breakfast Club and she gave Ashanti her props when she mistakenly said that she got a baby and she's pregnant again. Now, I don't know what made her think that Ashanti was pregnant, whether somebody told her this, or hopefully it wasn't like a visual thing where she said, okay, she's about to have another child. But it seemed like she just was fine with it, that she spilled the beans until she got all the backlash and she was corrected. And so she issued an apology under the post about the interview, saying, my apologies, I shouldn't have said that. I thought she announced it. If that isn't true, then I apologize.
Well, as long as it wasn't if you ever look at a woman, especially my fellas, do not
Don't do it.
ever ask or congratulate if you don't know for sure whether or not that woman is pregnant.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem if you say anything. So if you don't know, don't say anything, all right? But guess what? I told y'all I got a lot of tickets. So I have tickets for Jagged Edge. They're going to be for 93.1's Summer Music Series presenting Jagged Edge, Lloyd, and Brownstone. They'll be at the Jacobs Pavilion Friday, June 27th. Tickets are on sale now, but you can win a pair. Call me up, 216-578-0931.
I'm going to I'm gonna take Tari to see the Isley Brothers. I think I'm gonna take Tari to see the Isley Brothers.
Ooh, yeah, that's
we saw them down in Cincinnati. They put on a good show. It was like 95 that day. It was hot, and they didn't hit the stage till 1 a.m. It was I want to say Jasmine Sullivan, SWV, and the Isley Brothers. We only stayed for 2 songs because they ain't get on stage till 1 o'clock in the morning. We had been there since 8 o'clock. 7:30. We got there about 7:30. We saw like the last of Jasmine Sullivan set. We saw all the SWV set, and then we sat there for like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours waiting on the Isley Brothers. They didn't get on stage till almost 1 a.m. We heard 2 songs and bounced.
And last time I went, he was definitely sitting down, but I just wanted to see him.
He was sitting down. And I want to say this was 2021 because they didn't do the Cincinnati Jazz Fest that year because of COVID. Mm-hmm. So they somebody else just put a concert together in place of it. I was talking too much.
No, I probably was talking too much. I might need to pick out a story or two.
I'm glad we finally got some weather.
Here's one.
But I gotta go to Houston this weekend. It'll be 100 degrees and humid.
Okay, maybe I'll just run.
That happened to one of my coworkers once. This lady was like, "Oh my God, when are you due?" I was like, but she had like that perfectly like. I think she might have been diabetic. You know how sometimes you'll get that round belly when you're diabetic. I think, but she lived. I mean, her health and wellness was horrible. But the lady was like, I'm talking about touched her belly and everything. She looked like she was 9 months. I'm not gonna, it was, I mean, perfectly round. She was like, oh my God, when are you due? I was like, oh my God, she's not pregnant. I was just waiting to watch the train. She was like, oh, actually, I'm not pregnant. I'm like, oh,
especially when they older and you just be like,
man, this woman was in her 50s. She wasn't having no more babies. And she looked every bit of in her. She looked like she was in her. She was a heavy smoker, like a chain smoker. So you know how they get, the skin was real loose and wrinkly, and she just looked old.
She won't live right.
At all. At all. I can't wait to get my hair cut.
Where do you get your haircut?
One of my boys I went to high school with in the shop right next to the gym.
I couldn't get my son's haircut. That's how he ended up with locks, long locks. He kicked the barber in his balls.
Wait, how old was he?
He was a little kid.
Oh, okay.
But still.
Again, it was a different time. I remember when I used to try to go to the barbershop and act up. They got that little leather strap on the side of the barber chair that they use to sharpen the knives. I mean, sharpen the razors. Yeah, I got threatened with one of them. I don't think I cried no more.
Oh.
Like, boy, you better sit down. I'm going to pop you with this.
We was embarrassed. We gave the guy a nice a tip. Since he sacrificed his
right
jewels. You want to just do it live? You want to do it live?
Yeah, I'm good.
I feel like it's long. It's 9 minutes. It's too long.
Well, she gonna run with the truth is us. Only dudes moving units.
Pimp juice and us.
It's the
rocket hair.
Maybach outside,
got rocks in here.
PJs on the runway, young got air. I don't land at an airport, I call it the clearport. Therefore, I don't wanna hear more back and forth about who's hottest, young holler. I got my gosh and I'm 7 on right now. You gotta come to this one. Can't roll up to this one, boy.
I'll be more brief.
I don't think he would.
Ricky.
What you talking about today?
Listening to your body. It took me 46 years to figure this out. Because I used to be able to just fall and go. I used to be able to just be soaring. Now what happens is, you know, as we get older, little nagging bumps and bruises become injuries.
Which, like what?
Like I was in that car accident last year and I didn't listen to my body, which led to another injury, which now it becomes a domino effect where I can't work out like I want to or like I'm supposed to because now I got to sit down because I didn't sit down. So I didn't listen to my body when it was just a little thing and it turned into something bigger.
How's your back doing?
Much, but I just start working out again last week, just super light.
Yeah.
And that's what, for me, but that's been since July of last year. Where if I'd have just sat my butt down for probably about 2 weeks, I would have been just fine in September,
Do you
October.
think that if you hadn't built your body up so much that you would
It would have been worse.
Oh,
It would have been like, yeah, this ain't even the first car accident. The first one I got in, the doctor flat out told me was like, if your neck wasn't so strong, your injuries would have been way worse. Yeah, so I feel like, being strong definitely helped me, but being strong is what stopped me from sitting my butt down when I was supposed to. So,
do you not want to lose your gains? Is that what it is?
well, working out for me is therapy. I don't want to lose my woman. I'm an asshole when I don't work out.
Oh.
Like I'm testy. I get really like I get short with people.
We got 1 minute.
No, I can feel it when it throws my mentals off.
I wish I had that issue.
So, yeah, but yeah, of course I've gained 25 pounds over the last year. My body does not look like it did. So yes, that's part of it.
You want to?
Hell no.
Oh.
I gotta get this off.
Oh.
But I hadn't been able to train.
That's my guy DJ 1 Plus 2 with the free lunch mix on 93.1 WZAK. I'm Kenya Brown, and it's time for What's Trending. What's Trending with Kenya is brought to you by McDonald's. I'm loving it. Visit WZAKCleveland.com for more on What's Trending with Kenya. And I got my brother, Benny, 216 Muscle. He is in the building, y'all. He's going to give you some great workout tips for Wellness Wednesday. But for now, we're going to talk about what's trending. Now, Mr. Beast, he said that he's borrowing money from his mom to pay for his wedding. He said personally he has very little money. Now, this man is a billionaire, if you don't know. He's a very popular YouTuber. And he was named one of the only billionaires under 30 to not have inherited his wealth. But even though his companies, Beast Industries, made just under $500 million in total last year and is forecasted to make about $899 million this year, well, he said that all the money is really in his companies. He doesn't personally have any money. So this man is technically kind of worth $1 billion, but he has under $1 million in his bank account.
He playing the smart money game. Keep the money in the business.
Absolutely.
Instead of paying, so he ain't got to pay them taxes.
I think
on
we
that
get it
salary.
twisted. We don't know to put I don't want to say shell companies. We don't know to put the other companies in place to protect that money. Now, a judge has blocked Florida's teen social media ban, calling it a First Amendment violation. Now, they've blocked a key part of Florida's 2024 law that would have restricted minors under 16 from accessing certain social media platforms. Now, Chief U.S. District Judge Mark E. Walker ruled that the law likely violates First Amendment protections, putting enforcement on pause as legal challenges continue. Now, of course, it's been challenged by folks like Meta and YouTube and Google and Snapchat, but the ruling doesn't block the entire law, just the portion banning teens under 16 from using specific social media platforms, because, they were going to actually fine these social media platforms for allowing these kids on here. Now, he did acknowledge about the impact of social media on the youth, but he said that the law overstepped constitutional boundaries by restricting access to lawful online content. Now, it seems like we would have some bigger fish to fry as far as this is concerned, but these teens, I definitely think there's something there as far as a ban or something like that, but those privacy issues, they haven't quite gotten that worked
I got to
out.
have a conversation with my mama. I didn't know children have freedom of speech.
Listen, we definitely ain't have freedom of speech. Now, Pastor Jamal Bryant, he's calling on Cardi B to join the Target boycott after she shared a photo of herself shopping in the store. Now, he said he was coming to her in love, not judgment, but he said, we need you to come on over and join this movement. He said this is the most effective boycott since the Montgomery bus boycott. And, some have applauded his approach by approaching her online, but some people criticized him for not contacting her privately. Cardi has now responded to the whole situation.
Public shaming can be a powerful tool, but sometimes it'll push people away.
Well, he said, I feel certain that you weren't aware of what was going on.
He tried to give her a pass.
Was that some shade?
No, I think he was trying to give her a pass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he said she wasn't aware. So come on over. I know Target lost about $1 billion after this whole boycott started. I don't know if it was all due to the boycott, but it did happen. Now, Tina Knowles, she's saying that Beyonce's name is homage to her father, Loomis Albert Beyonce. Now, she said she decided to name her daughter Beyonce. That used to be Tina's last name that had a slight misspelling. I guess they used to misspell the name. A lot of families go through that. Their family name was something to start off with, and then, as time changed, misspellings, people don't know how to spell stuff, it forms into something else, and that's how we got Beyonce.
My mother thankfully did that. I'm named after her favorite uncle, but his name is Benny Jean. She named me Benjamin. That's so country. Benny Jean Johnson.
So she got it wrong. She
wasn't ready. You gonna name no child in the 70s Benny Jean.
Oh, Benny Jean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Benny Jean. No, please. I'm glad she changed it.
Yeah, my mama misspelled my middle name as well. So now 50 Cent, he's urging a judge to block the release of Skill House, which is the film he claimed used his name and image without permission or pay. Now, through his company NYC Vibe, he's suing the producers Ryan Kavanaugh, Skill House Movie LLC, and Gen TV LLC for using his name and likeness without signed agreement. Now, he said that he actually acted in parts of the film and did some things with his son in the film with just as a show of good faith. But there was no contract signed and there was no money. So I guess he said money on the wood make the bet go good. He did not do that.
I feel like 50 know better. Don't show up to work without the check.
You better know better when it comes to 50. He said, you know the vibes. So yes, we all know the vibes. Y'all about to get sued. So he wants to block this film. It's supposed to be released on July 11th. And lastly, Keisha Cole, well, she's apologizing after she broke one of those cardinal rules by saying Ashanti was pregnant again. Now, she was doing an interview on The Breakfast Club, and she said she was giving Ashanti her props when she mistakenly said she got a baby and she's pregnant again. Now, I don't know where she got this information from, whether maybe a close friend spilled it to her and she spilled it out and she wasn't supposed to, but she did apologize. She said, my apologies, I shouldn't have said that. I thought she announced it. If that isn't true, then I apologize. So, I don't know. Ashanti has said that she wanted more kids one day, but I don't know if it was today or her day to say that or anything like that. So, I don't know. But you never, ever, ever, unless you know.
You don't know for sure.
And you're not supposed to be dropping other people's news. I don't know what she was thinking. Now, I told y'all I got tickets. I have tickets for Jagged Edge. They're going to be a part of our summer music series presenting Jagged Edge, Lloyd, and Brownstone. They're going to be at the Jake's Pavilion on Friday, June 27th. The tickets are on sale now. But if you want a pair, I'm going to take the 9th caller at 216-578-0931. And my brother Benny, he's coming up in just a minute with some Wellness Wednesday tips, all right? So don't go anywhere. It's 93.1 WZAK.
The most fun week in the morning. It's the Rick Smiley Morning Show. On y'all Thursday on the Rick Smiley Morning Show, Jim Johnson got 3 things you need to know.
Or no?
Yeah, I was looking at the clock. It was.
Okay.
Now, definitely gonna be pouring some
I was looking at 9 minutes like,
baby, with another solution. All that and more Thursday on the Rick Smiley Morning Show. It's the Rick Smiley Morning Show on 93.1 WZAK. You should buy from Holly.
ZAK, you're calling number 1, calling number 2, calling number 3, calling number 4, calling number 5, calling number 6, 7, 8. ZAK, you're my winner. Hold on, okay?
All right.
All right.
Colleen Kia in North Homestead and Sandusky. On approved credit, AM and credit bank down and negative equity may be refinanced. Plus tax tag licensing document. 24 months lease, 36.25 US ID, 10,000 miles per year. Zero security deposit. 75% LTV. 1667. Expired 75.5.
Everyone has a fave Wendy's frosty flavor. And when you're choosing from chocolate or vanilla, it's not that hard. But now there's all
Hello.